You guys, we need to start out with the most important piece of this video. I hit pan on my blush this morning. Oh no, can you not see that? There it is. Look at that pan. It's tiny, but it's there. And I have been putting off filming this video until I hit pan in this stupid blush that I've been working on for like a year and a half, just to hit pan, and it finally happened. Ha! Did it. And this, oh, by the way, this blush is from Etude. It's their lovely cookie blusher in Peach Shoe Wafers. That was one of my goals in my Project Pan. Now let's go through the other goals that I had in my Project Pan. So I actually was only working on one other product. It was this Art Class by Rodin contour in the original shade, just called shade 1. I want to hit pan in this too. Clearly that did not happen. I am starting to see this really clear ridge between the medium and deepest shade. I tend to put my brush like right here in the product, which I find is a really nice contour shade. I'm actually wearing a little bit of it like right here today. It works nicely for me. I think that the other shade that I think it's Modern, which is a little bit lighter and quite a bit cooler than this. It's probably a better contour for me, but I have this one. I like it. I got this one first and enjoyed it enough to buy another shade. So, have been using this actually really, really regularly. I would say that I probably use this like 4 or 5 times a week, but I haven't hit pan yet. Yeah, so those are the 2 products that are in like my year-long Project Pan. I've also been trying to get my palettes to 5 uses each. So I'm not going to show the palettes that I had brought in last time around. I've gotten them all to 5 uses. It's been, I think, like 2.5 months since I filmed my last video. So there was plenty of time for me to get those to 5 uses. They've all been at 5 uses for a few weeks now. And I actually was able to get a couple more palettes that I hadn't introduced to 5 uses as well. So first up was this Beauty for Certain palette. This is their Playa to Palazzo palette. I got this in the April Allure Beauty box. I chose not to get the May one, but I did get the April one. And there are 5 shades in here, super neutral, 4 mattes in various sort of skin tone shades, and then 1 gold. I'm wearing the gold today on my lid. It's pretty, it's nothing to write home about, but they are nice quality neutrals, and I could see me keeping this out on my vanity and just having it when I wanted, you know, something that I could use to like blend in to my skin tone. Find this is a really useful shade, or when I just need a neutral brown or an easy gold, this would be a good palette to keep out. And I love this lightest shade. So I did use this 5 times. I actually think use 6 or 7 is on my eyes right now. The other palette that I've gotten to 5, 6, 7, somewhere in there uses is this Violette Vespertine from Viseart. I bought myself this for my birthday last year, I believe, and it's been a good purchase. This is a very pretty, like, cool toned neutral into purple palette. I would say that if you took out sort of this shade, it looks decidedly less purple. It looks like a cool tone neutral palette, but with that shade, I feel like this looks like a purple palette. So one thing I love about this palette is, well, I love a lot of things about this palette. Let's just start out with that. I think that this row of shimmers are all very pretty. They are sort of a similar formula to one another, except for this purple, which is a little bit less, I wouldn't even say that these are all foiled, but This is less foiled than the other three are, but I think that these three metallic neutrals are gorgeous. They're super easy for pretty much any look that I do day to day. And these mattes on the top just make things so easy. You can so easily build up your crease, add this shade as a nice brow bone highlight, and then just pick a shimmer. So easy. I love this palette. And I liked it so much that I actually bought myself another Viseart palette for my birthday this year. And actually, let's talk about that now. So this one I'm currently sitting at 3 uses on, I think. 2 or 3. I've got it written down. This is, again, from Viseart, and this is their London Etoile palette. And here is what this looks like. This is I don't even know what I would call this. Like a slightly grungy take on a berry palette, maybe? It's a pretty color scheme. Really, what I've worn so far have just been these 3 shades. I need to bring in some of these berries in the next couple of weeks. It's really pretty so far. I really like Viseart shadows. If you're someone who really likes that sort of that indie look of super bright colors or incredibly foiled shades, probably not going to be your cup of tea. These are a little bit more lightly pigmented. They blend out really easily, and they just feel very soft on the eyes. But they do have some really interesting colors, and they show up true to color. You know, you're not going to put on this purple and it look like a watered down pink on the lid. So I do really, really like this so far, and I'm looking forward to getting those additional 2 or 3 uses, and then probably plus a few extra, because I'm gonna enjoy my new palette. And then let's quickly run through the other palettes. I'm going to be trying to get to 5 uses. So we have another Viseart palette. This was my first Viseart palette. It's the one that started my little love affair. This is the Petite Pro 2, probably with some minor changes because I have the Petite Pro 1, 2, and 3, and I've kind of mixed and matched, but I think this one is more or less how it started out. This is a very fun one. I love this little pop of coral. I will definitely have to bring that in a couple times. And you know what? I'm looking at this shade, and there's not like a big dip in it. There is a tiny little dip going on in this coral eyeshadow. I'm pretty proud of that. I wouldn't have expected for me to get a dip in that kind of shade. But anyway, I really do like this palette. Looking forward to those 5 uses. We have the ABH Norvina collection palette. This is their Mini Pro Pigment Volume 1. First of all, really cute packaging. I love the Art Deco look of it. And then inside we have 9 shades. Very bold, very bright, but surprisingly pretty easy to wear. These all blend out nice and easily. I've actually found myself using, well, these 3 I find quite easy to use for like everyday looks. And then these 2 shimmers, like, yeah, fair enough, pretty easy. This one is surprisingly wearable for me. This, I guess, another bright coral. Maybe I have a type. I just really like this palette. I am surprised by just how much I liked this. I think I bought this at TJ Maxx or something and thought I was going to, you know, enjoy it, bring it out for the occasional look for a bright pop of color. But I didn't expect this to be something that I like wore to work, and I have, and I've really enjoyed it. So getting those 5 uses will not be a challenge. Really, I brought out palettes that I just love this time around, because this is another one that I adore. This is the ColourPop Tinkerbell Sprinkle a Little Magic palette. And this is one of my favorites, I think largely because it's just really adorable. I love the illustration. I feel like the packaging itself is quite cute. And then the products inside. I think this is such a fun palette. I think this is only like okay to good quality. This is not like the best palette that ColourPop has ever put out, but you can get to these shades that you see in the palette on your eye, and they're so fun. They're just something a little bit different, and I think they suit Tinkerbell really well. I think they did a good job on this collection. So I will absolutely be getting 5 uses on that and enjoying every one. I have the ColourPop Cabana Club. I know that this does not look exactly like the original Cabana Club, but here's what mine currently looks like. This definitely had a blue in it that I swapped out at some point. And I feel like this pink probably didn't originally belong to this palette, but I feel like now it's a really nice, like, lighter, warm-toned palette. Great for summer with a little pop of berry. Sounds nice, right? Like, I will absolutely wear this. And I feel like this is exactly the right time of year to bring it out as we go into June, and then this will probably be around still in July because I haven't been filming that much. And then last but certainly not least, we have the e.l.f. Earth and Ocean. Now this is a little bit of a stranger pick for me. I always think of this as more of a fall palette, but I find that when I think of it as a fall palette, I tend to very much focus on like this half of the palette. I think that bringing this in summer will force me to look at this in a little bit of a different way, maybe get some more use out of like these like periwinkle shades at the bottom because these are really fun. Bring in this yellow and green a little bit more. This Lagoon shade is so pretty. It's like a pressed glitter, but I feel like this could be really fun. That's not super impactful on my wrist, but I think with some glitter glue, it'll work really nicely. So yeah, that will be the last palette that I am working on. And then for that Project Pan element, I'll be bringing in 2 additional products. So first up, I've hit pan, or I think I chose to declutter, that was it, a highlighter in my last video. But I didn't bring in a new product because I didn't know exactly what I wanted to bring in. And I've had a little time to think about it. Had a lot of time to think about it. And I decided that I want to bring in this blush highlight somewhere in between from Benefit. This is Tickle. I have this in the Mini Pink Squad Cheek Leaders palette, which by the way, I love this thing. This has been a great purchase for me. And Tickle is this shade in the center. And it is a very, very glowy, like golden side of pink highlighter. And I just tried to swatch that right on top of the blue. But that was a terrible swatch. Let's try that again. It's very pretty glow. I feel like this will be really nice to mix in with different blushes and just make the blush itself a little bit more glowy, probably rather than using it as a really traditional highlight and applying it by itself. I'll still do that, but it probably won't be my most frequent way of application. And I would just like to hit pan in this. I don't know if I'm close. I feel like I might be. It looks like there are almost cracks or dents in the product, which might just be that I've hit it with my nail before, but you know, I'll take what I can get. I might be close. We shall see. And then, because I was not making smart decisions, I decided not to bring in, you know, like the blush, like Dandelion, that's also in this palette. I decided I was going to bring in a different blush instead. And the one I chose is one that's been floating around my collection for a long time. I've had this for probably close to 5 years at this point. And this is from NARS. It is their Orgasm blush. This is a mini, and I've clearly depotted it from its original compact. But, I mean, you probably know what NARS Orgasm looks like. It's peachy pink. I find that on me, this is a really flattering color. I've really liked Orgasm in, I hate that name. I really like the shade of Orgasm in all of the forms that I've tried it. I've had it in a couple different lip products I thought were all very pretty. I've used it on the cheeks. I've used this shade on my lids before and thought it was nice. So this will be a good one to work on. Again, with this product, my goal is also to hit pan. I have used this quite a bit over the years that I've had it, but I'm nowhere close to pan. So it'll probably be in for like a year before I hit pan, but that's okay. What else am I doing? All right, so I think that wraps things up. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing. I do post occasionally, sometimes, and I'd love to have you. So thanks again for watching, and I hope I see you guys next time. Bye, y'all.